Okay, I'm going to just go through the lesson 1 example we did in class in this particular video. So, if we start off with a part millimeter part, metric part, click OK, do my usual isometric, and that's my plane there that I want. If you look at my isometric drawing in lesson 1, you can see that's the one with most of the detail. I'm going to do it slightly different. I'm going to do it the way I actually did it in class with the dynamic mirror entities. So with dynamic mirror entities, you need a little center line. So construction line, center line. So up here, and select that. My mouse gestures. It is available there as well. You can also, just if I kind of do this as well, you can also draw a standard line and select for construction as well. So it'll give you a construction line as well. Okay, so a number of ways of doing that. But we all know I like the mouse gestures, so mouse gestures up towards the 1 or the 2 on the clock. So again, making sure you fix your first point to that datum point, so coincident relation there, and go straight up. And this is an overall height of 40, so I'll make it just slightly bigger than that. 49, that'll do. Okay, and now I can carry on drawing my little lines in a second. So if I turn on dynamic mirror entities and select that center line, this is now a dynamic mirror line. So what that does for you is come along and select my line, come across here. Now all we do is have to draw half of it. So it's 80 long, so I'll just go as far as 40, and it comes up around 45 degrees, across there somewhere like that, and up somewhere here. So I'm just kind of sketching. You can see the mirror has kind of been drawn as I'm sketching. So come along to here, and then do a little arc. So back over that point, and select my arc. Now I can kind of try and get it onto that point. But you see my center point, the way it's slightly off of the center line. It's much easier if you know you're going to do a full half circle. It's much easier on you if you kind of go right the way across and do that. You're going to get an error message up on the screen, but we can kind of deal with that. So you can see we can kind of do that. But there's a chance that could be slightly off. You see that center line slightly off. So it's much easier and much less fiddly if you just go right the way across and join your little radius there. You get that little unable to create symmetric element because we still have this dynamic mirror entities on, but we could go get to that. And it's carrying on. If I just double click anywhere on the screen, it'll stop that line command. So that's my first little point, isometric. So pop along, then you can exit the sketch, or you can just go straight across to extruded boss base. You'll see I kind of take a lot of shortcuts, and as you kind of learn them, you'll be less likely to kind of click exit sketch and then go to extrude. You'll just kind of skip all this. Come along here, and it's going to be 30, so just type in 30, and it's a blind extrude in that direction, and happy bunnies. Okay, so I have no dimensions on this, so I need to go back in and pop a few dimensions on it. Okay, go normal 2, and start putting a few dimensions on here. So what have we got? Well, we've got the overall height of 40, we've got this height here of 10. Well, it's actually giving me that dimension of 10, but because it's 45 degrees, it's kind of the same as that, so I'll kind of make that. And again, your little right mouse button while you're that stops that kind of sliding sideways on you, and allows me to kind of place this across here and enter in 10 for that. And as you do the 10 here, this will automatically, because it's symmetric, because it was tied with this dynamic mirror, this will automatically update as well. So if I pop that dimension on, that's 40, and well, the overall length is 80. And this one's 40 as well, isn't it? And our radius here is 10. And 45 degrees, so I'll pop it this side just and this for my dimensions so we can see it, not clutter them all in the one spot. So 45 degrees, and you can see it's kind of already turned black because it knows I'm about to put in the last remaining dimension. So click OK to that, and I'm fully defined. And exit sketch, and I'm good to go. Now just do the front a little bit, edit sketch, normal 2. Didn't do this one in class, but I'll kind of do it here because we're about to do it sort of next week, so we'll just go ahead and do a little bit of additional. So anyone that hasn't looked at this video won't see this till class. Anyone that did, give a little tip. So convert entities. If I select that edge, see that, and click OK to that, it actually converts that into a sketched entity on this. So I can take it that. And it doesn't have a dimension on it, but it has a relationship to this radius. So it'll always be the same as that radius, which is pretty much what we want. So in converting the entities to that, and if I click on it, you see this little relation here, it's a non-age relation. So another new relation for you there, non-age relation. So it's tied into that, and it'll always kind of remain the same as that. So if we go and modify this in our original sketch, this will automatically move with it. So that's the little convert entities button. Okay, so go normal 2 again. Then I can kind of just do a standard arc. I'll do a standard arc for this one. So first point, as you can see over here, first point is your center point arc. So center point of my arc is there, and that's the first point of my arc. And if it goes over the top of that, all you do is just kind of spin around. You can see that, and you can get it. So unlike kind of CAD, it only goes in one direction. You can kind of reverse the direction of your arc if you spin around. Okay. So coming back across here again, making sure we get our little relation there in the end. So make sure we get that coincident relation. And OK. And don't make the mistake that one or two made in the class. You need to close this profile off. There's 2 gaps here at the top, and we could draw a couple of lines, but let's just try our little convert entities again and select that edge and that edge and click OK and OK, and you can see it's fully defined without any dimensions. So it's fully defined, and we've also closed off that complete profile. So now I can go along and extrude boss base. I didn't mention it kind of just yet, but there is a little sort of merge results. So when you add a piece to, so if you add a solid body to another solid body, it actually by default merges the results to form one solid body. Okay, that's automatically checked by default, but just to be aware of it, because later on of course we'll be having a look at reasons why not to check that. So just coming in here, this thickness is going to be 10 as far as I'm aware, and click OK, and that's my part done and finished. If I just do quick properties on that, you can kind of check that 57 grams, yeah, I think that was right, and you can check the center of mass as well. If you did it the same way as me, you get the same center of mass, otherwise the X will be slightly out, won't it? It'll be down probably half the length of that. So that's that lesson 1 complete.